DreamHack Masters Las Vegas is brought to you by Asus, Republic of Gamers, HyperX, Monster Energy, live at MGM Grand.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Here we are with the best of three between North and OpTic Gaming. We were just on Nuke, and it was incredibly one-sided. North just completely winning it, 16-2 as a scoreline at the end of it. Now, we're going to move on to OpTic's map pick, which will be on Cobblestone. I'm excited for this one.
Yeah, absolutely, because I think we're going to see a totally different OpTic Gaming on this map. It's their home turf.
Yeah.
And so they should be fairly confident. I mean, it's not like OpTic, well, they did kind of get bodied on Nuke most of the tournament long, basically. It's been nothing but Nuke. One time they played, when the first time these two teams faced, actually, in the group phase, North versus OpTic, it was Inferno. That was the one time we haven't played Nuke in Group A. It's been nothing but Nuke. Finally, we're going to see a third map.
Yeah, and as North sort of said, that was just like their, throwaway pick. Like, let's see what happens, And obviously, it didn't work out all that well for North to let Inferno through. But on Nuke, it's been going just fine. So 16-2, as you can tell there. See if OpTic mentally can make a quick recovery here. Just get back in the mix. It is a bit weird, obviously, that they've got Hiko here and not Stanislaw. So that's one of the big question marks and one of the reasons why maybe you wonder a bit how much firepower, how good are they going to be here on this particular map. It's not like North can't play this map either.
No, I mean, no, definitely North can do some damage, but just in the straight aim right now and the confidence that they're going to have coming out of Nuke, their ability to hit the shots right now, North have it. Everything went right for them on the first map. Config reigns supreme, but then right behind him, MSL and KGB. MSL in particular, right? Not used to seeing him at the top of the scoreboard, but that bodes well for North, even going into a map that isn't their own, that isn't their pick.
And here's something weird. OpTic won the knife round, so they get to pick sides, and they chose to be on the CT side. I actually would probably prefer not to do that if I had just come out of a big beating like that. I would want a T side on Cobblestone where I could sort of decide everything, set the pace of the game and feel good about that. Now there's a chance, because some of these players on North are very good on T side, Config being the most obvious one. Let him loose and let him run around and take fights all over the place. You could have a pretty rough start to this game if that happens.
Yeah, exactly. That is, I mean, that's the main caveat. What?
Look at the rush coming. Oh, I thought they were going to chase down Mixwell, but actually they are just continuing. Config is in drop, so the rest of the North forces all the way over along, and Config going to take down Nafly. Mixwell in the corner. This is going to be big if he can do it. He gets one kill, but he's almost out. There's the headshot coming through. Tarek did steal the other one, and now it's 3 versus 2. They're actually recovering from this OpTic in spite of losing nearly that A bomb site.
The fact that Mixwell stays alive is unreal here, but Cajun B, if he can find the shot on Tarek, he sees the drive-by there. Thanks, Tarek. Opens up the vents for him. No problem a lot. But there's still 2 players alive. The main problem here is that Mixwell is still alive on the site itself. That's what's stopping North from pushing onto the site and attempting a bomb plant. They have to go for fights like this, and it's not working out. It's down to Config, 52 HP, and a 1v2.
Very tricky. He's got the time at least. An attempted pre-fire coming out there, and Config realizing where the other player is. So he's got the information, he's got the time, he's going to go for the fight. Jumps through with the burst fire, taking down Hiko. Now going with the USP instead, turning around on Tarek and doing a lot of damage. He's just picking up guns left and right at the moment. He's got 5 bullets left here, going for it, and Config! He's going to be able to do it. Quad kill on him, and North off to a strong start. And you see almost the shaking of Cajun's head there, just saying, what the hell just happened?
How do you battle back? But then Config's just like, here, let me show you. You thought Nuke was a fluke? You thought that was just because it was our map? No, I'm still hot. I can do it. Unbelievable that he actually wins this duel versus Tarek.
With 5 bullets. Didn't even want to reload.
That's some confidence. The guy's not afraid. Right now, he is looking to just beast. And so it's a 1-0 lead. 3rd pistol round in a row picked up for North. They won both pistols on Nuke. And while they're starting strong here on Cobble, OpTic's map And OpTic, of course, going for the force buy. There's Mixwell attempting the 1 dig, and he's going to get it. Nice shoulder peek onto AZ, and the crossfire works as well. It sets it up for Hiko to get the double spray with that 5-7 up close.
And the bomb is right there. So a catastrophic mistake from North here. I still will never understand. We actually saw this on Cobblestone as well earlier. Yeah, that Molotov, why was that not the first thing going into it? That was going to be my question. It's so easy. It doesn't really cost you that much money to just check that corner and avoid the crossfire.
They're just getting so good at these jiggle peeks with the Deagle. That's such a threat. It's so hard to hit that shot unless you're just pre-firing it. And Config will be able to catch that fly, getting a bit ahead of himself, and somehow OpTic, they've thrown away this advantage. Both AKs still alive here for North. They even have some nades to work with on Magisk, and now it's just Tarek. He's got a scout. That's it.
Oh, man. So huge mistake on North to go there without using the Molotov first, but then possibly even worse for OpTic is just walking in there one at a time and just, you know, taking that fight. Once they were in that position, they should have been able to slow down. At that point, I would say you don't even really need to cover the bomb. You don't have to commit to holding the bomb. Just fall back to the bomb side. You know they have to show up there eventually.
Yeah, exactly. When you've got a 3-man advantage, no less. I mean, sacrifice Hiko. There isn't a whole lot you can do for that guy. He's stuck in the corner. But still, we're moving into it where North have managed to work their way all the way back around here towards the B site. They'll get the safe plant. Not a whole lot that Terra can do. He can attempt to take a shot through, but he has no idea where the plant is happening. That smoke denies all information. He can actually get a kill here on Magisk. Magisk is low, and there you go. The tag on Config is enough. And he seems to know where Magisk is coming from as well. Can Tarek actually make up for it? No! Magisk hits the headshot. Another 1v1 going to North. OpTic have got to be beside themselves.
Oh, man. In terms of starting a second map, this is obviously incredibly demotivating. This start, they get all 3 kills, 5 versus 2. Just chill out for a moment.
I mean, what bodes well is that it was a lot of one-sided 2, 3, even 4 players surviving for North on Nuke right when they were winning rounds. Here, OpTic have had 2 very close clutch situations right out the gates. And so they should actually get a little bit of confidence from that. Tarek will manage to pick up the 1, but he gets traded. MSL's there with the MAC-10 just wreaking havoc. 3 kills for him.
Yeah, very well done. And just the pace that's being set here by North, saying, look, we're not going to have another sort of close 1v1 round. It's just going to be all our way. Hiko will pick up the good shot there and steal the UMP. Potentially has time. I might want to try and fight this if I'm Hiko.
Why not, right? If you can get another kill, that would be beautiful, but it's not going to happen, especially with that UMP. You're ecoing. If you can get $600 off the kill,
yeah,
that's a pretty big deal. That's 2 nades that you can carry on into the next round. Instead, it's just going to be buying with what you have. And so Hiko, he does actually have enough for an HE, a flash, and a smoke, but the kits, we're looking pretty light here on OpTic side. No kits, glass cannon AWP on Mixwell, and they're a little light on nades between Rush and Mixwell. So we'll see what OpTic are able to do here, if there's going to be some kind of aggression or not.
Hiko and Mixwell are once again moving up quite far. And once again, it should, I think, be almost a standard thing if you want to go long to Molotov that corner. Is just a silly idea not to do it.
Especially if you have the money for it. Look, they both have. Whoever's pushing here, AZ, there can be the flash to open it up, but at this point, yeah, you have the space to start using your incendiaries. I like that one. Yeah. Clever.
Very well done, especially because it burns the high ground there as well. But Mixwell picks up a shot on AZ, and MSL has also gone down. This is it, OpTic. 5 versus 2 again, and this time, unlike the last time, they actually have rifles. There should be no way of losing this. Mixwell, armor or not, he's going to find the second kill for himself, and Config just try the best here to take some rifles away from them.
It's interesting. It's almost as if North are under pressure here, or feeling some kind of pressure, because they have the nades. They're just not making any use of them. They're looking for just straight duels. And that's not favorable. I mean, if you have the flashes, if you have the incendiaries, that's how you create space on the T side, and you put the CT side, who have the angle already, at a disadvantage. But right now, we're just seeing North keep running. They keep running around corners looking for duels, and it's just not working for them here. Mixwell, Hiko over at A long. This is such a great hold.
Yeah, and the position that Mixwell was holding from is one that can very easily be smoked out all the way from the yard. You don't even have to go anywhere near him, so just put up the smoke, Molotov the close corner when you get in, and then take over long slowly. But you're right, they were skimping on some of that, and it cost them quite a lot. Now, AK on Magisk, triple stack in the B bomb site with even Mixwell running in here, so North not going to have at all an easy time trying to take this over. No,
they're just playing patient right now, trying to wait out any kind of HE pressure that might come through. There are still the incendiaries in play for OpTic as well. And OpTic are doing a good job of just spacing out their grenades. They aren't committing everything at the beginning. They know that they have a huge advantage in this round. And so it is 3-1. North on the eco. Magus with the hero AK. And he does manage to get down into drop. There is a man holding. It's Rush holding by window. So we'll see. There's the shoulder peek and double headshot from Rush. That's clean.
Yeah, very well done. Cajun is going to be able to pick up the AK in return. Kind of wish they would give it to Config. He's got armor and also he's just been playing very well. Still trying to see if he could sneak in there, but the fact that Cajun doesn't have armor does not bode well for this upcoming exchange.
No, it's all about those one taps. He needs to channel his inner Scream, his inner Super Saiyan at this point. AZ with the shoulder peek. Mixwell's just too quick for him. Gets the follow-up flick. Very clean work here from Mixwell, and Nafly and Mixwell each picking up 2 kills. So North, they run the clock down. They take their time. But in the end, they get nothing from that round. And this is some patience here from MSL. They had money enough to go for a force if they wanted to North, but instead it's a half buy that we'll be seeing in this next round. Tech 9 Kevlar, handful of nades, which is basically going to guarantee a full buy for North in the next round. So this is, you don't really see in-game leaders go for this kind of play too often. If you're floating around 4,000, a lot of time you're just going to see a buy.
Yeah, especially early on in the half like this where the money, I mean, it's all right for OpTic, but it's not out of control, so they could try and keep applying the pressure. Pretty good grenade on Config just to slow the team down as well. They will make a slight cross, but I think Tarek spotted it. And now they're going to try and see if they can bomb out most of this bomb site here. Tarek still alive, actually. He's taken some damage, but not enough that it's really a threat. Mixwell goes down, and AC next in line. A trade right now. Oh, what is he doing, Tarek? That is some madness, just trying to knife through the smoke. Not sure that's really worth it, but they're still coming out on top on the OpTic side.
It's just a shame that MSL has to plant and he has the AK. But he's going to be able to back off. No, there's the spray transfer from Tarek. We're going to run out of bullets, but MSL not able to connect with the shots. Rush is there to save his teammate just in time. And they stabilize OpTic, but that did look a little dicey there for a moment. When you've got Tarek just randomly knifing in the smoke because he thinks somebody's on the other side, that's where you know it's like, okay, a little bit of panic here, a little bit of stress.
Gotta love Peacemaker with the, you know, just the paper in the back, just looking and trying to read up on what's happening in the meantime. I mean, maybe they've got really good intel on how North play this map. Or that could be what's going on here. But the save was in for North in the previous round. Now, you're right, they have almost everything they could want, including Cajun on the AWP. Mixwell wanted to go for a fight early, but gets denied.
What a perfectly timed anti-flash. This is MSL hard counting because he was doing this a couple rounds ago as well when Mixwell with the first buy in the 4th round, when Mixwell was glass cannon, MSL was emptying mag after mag through those doors. They really want to deny Mixwell the option to go for that peek towards T-spawn. I mean, I like it. It removes map control from OpTic. It actually makes life much more difficult for OpTic. You can see Hiko, he's having to fall all the way back. Mixwell, though, started out on A with that AWP. Now he's on Plateau B, so this could throw North for a loop if they expect that op over on A.
Yeah, big fan of this setup with Mixwell over here. He's going to have early intelligence that there's no one really there. They are trying to take over drop, and I think they're going to try and pinch the A bomb site from drop and long. If they keep going, the bomb's making its way back down. Danger connector over there, so they're still waiting around, but right now, this is all great for OpTic. Down to under 50 seconds on the clock, so sooner rather than later, North are going to have to make up their mind. Yeah, except that Rush is in a position he's going to get smoked out from connector. Hiko's going to be alone. And they should definitely have the nades to block off balcony as well. They do have a single smoke left here, and that's on MSL. So he's going to be setting up the connector smoke, but the Rush could get in the fight from balcony. So there isn't a chance here for him to support Hiko. A lot of this is going to ride on Hiko. Can he trade 1 for 1? And now Rush falling back, Hiko lining him up, and he only gets the 1 kill. The double would have probably done it here. 17 seconds, and Rush coming in. Strong headshot, taking down Config. 4 versus 3. Meg is trying to find back, but they're simply running out of time. They must know Rush is back here somewhere, but can they get him without getting shot in the back? That's the big question. Rush, the flashbang is in from a teammate, and that will be it. Magus with the refight, but 1 second left, and it's going to be OpTic Gaming winning the round. Magus going down after the clock has run out. Never a good sign, so North trying to cut it way too close then. What a hero flash. That anti-flash was so perfect. Yeah. The timing, it couldn't be better. But more importantly, just quick reactions there from Rush. How exactly here? You know, Hiko's already taken out, right? But before they can actually move on to the site North and start establishing like the post-plant situation for themselves, Rush is already off a balcony, already in the fight. Even if they had thrown a Molotov North, Rush would have been there so quick to support Hiko.
So great call on his part to be in the right place at the right time. And Config ready. Not going to get the punish, though. Just tags Tarek down to 73.
Very thin spread all across the map here for OpTic Gaming. Sure, I'm a big fan of it. I feel like it's so dangerous just to put 2 and B in the beginning if there is a rush coming in, but North are waiting on the other side. Seeing if anyone from OpTic, I mean, even over at long where AC is, they just want to see if the American team are going to get curious and go and look for information. I mean, that's what NAF likes. It's so tempting if you're NAF here to just take a couple of steps up that stairwell and see if anyone is going to be there.
The real nightmare here for North, though, is look at their nade count. They're down to a single flash. So Nafly can do tremendous damage. He's in a great position. They don't have the Molotov to force him out. They have limited flashes to work with. No smoke, no nothing. Naf could be the hero here. He's just waiting to see if they're going to commit. 45 seconds left, and again, North running down this clock dangerously low. They're going to give themselves a very small margin for error. And AZ, he's still on the complete opposite side of the map. He's over in A long. This push is about to happen here for North.
Oh, what a headshot, and followed up on Tarek. They were actually forced up by that Molotov, and now they're just going to go in the bomb site. They win every single duel, and that's going to leave Mixwell and Hiko wondering why did that defense not do anything at all. This is sort of a... Oh, and they've run back. Look at that. AZ is just waiting for them. That's brutal. No chance to save anything. This is like the classic B-side Cobblestone conundrum, because as soon as NAF goes down, the last 2 members on that bomb site have to suddenly decide, wait a minute, so they're coming drop and they're coming plateau.
Yeah.
Now, my position in this defense was to just look drop, and I was fine with that. But now that you're going down on plateau, I suddenly have to cover both, and that just doesn't work. It instantly with a kill on NAF, the other 2 members just have no idea where to look.
It's the 3 points of a triangle, right?
Yeah, that really is it. It's quite tough if you're on the CT side to deal with that situation.
Oh, this HE. What a shot from Hiko. All right, that HE to headshot combo there from Hiko just completely shuts down AZ. Man advantage for OpTic in this key round. North are desperate to chain 2 rounds together here. OpTic are out of money as well, nothing left in the bank, whereas North have just a little bit of a margin for error.
Yeah, just the fact that they survived with so many rifles in the last round.
Yeah, a flawless round, right? Like everybody surviving, that's perfect if you're North. Because now you actually have, you know, 2.5 across the board on everybody. So if you lose this round, you could even go for a half by Tech 9 and still be a threat.
I was voicing some criticism over the fact that OpTic picked the CT side, but right now I think they're doing a terrific job. The fact that the scoreline is tied is very bad news for North, and I think OpTic have definitely made the right move. So if they can just keep going, especially if they win this round, then I think there's a good chance they could get the map entirely. MSL goes down. That was Mixwell with a clever position. Now Hiko gonna smoke off and make sure he doesn't get shot in the back, and he can control long a bit further. Oh, Mixwell gets down by Cajun. Still a 3-on-4.
Yeah, and Cajun has a chance to take the shots, but he's gonna get flanked by Tarek. Nafly there, and Magus with the whip on him gets the headshot. Damage is done, however. He's gonna get caught out in the open. No way to push onto the site. Just the nade usage here, when it comes to this A defense from OpTic, is perfect. It's sick. Every single time North are trying to make a play, where they're trying to get out of A long or trying to get up ramp, boom, they're just constantly getting flashed in the face. You saw it there. One perfect flash completely grinds that push on ramp to a halt, and then that buys time for OpTic to rotate into the site and start taking fights. So we're seeing a lot of what actually, it feels very similar to what we saw from Nuke, where North had all of these setups to counter OpTic in the early game. Here we're seeing a lot of that from OpTic. Their CT defense is very crisp, and they're countering North and not letting them get their heads in this game.
And they heard all the footsteps from drop over into B long. So they realize there's going to be a lot of people coming through the smoke, trying to see if they can get in. Config opens up, and they're going to get the refrag there on Tarek as well after he got the shot on AZ. So 3-on-3, the bomb being planted inside of the smoke, and they can't really stop that. So now the retake is on. Magus and Cajun holding up from the plateau. That's pretty good news. The only problem is Hiko still has a Molotov, so if he can get that Molotov up on plateau, suddenly their life becomes very tricky. MSL sneaking in from behind, and the timing is perfect. He gets one and goes for the double. The Danish captain coming up and saving his team here. That's important.
So close across the board here. Nobody really lagging behind too far as kills are concerned. We're tied 5-5. Mixwell leads with double digits for OpTic on 10 kills, but Config 10 kills as well for North. And really, I think OpTic, well, it's the same thing actually from what we saw on the first map between these two. I mean, the 2 guys who stood out for each of these teams, once again, they're at the top of the scoreboard here. And while Config, I mean, it just seems like Config is so incredibly important to open up these sites. Every time North are able to make something happen on this B site, it's because Config finds that opening shot, and sure enough, again in the anti-eco, right through the smoke.
Just, incredibly frustrating, but they also don't have armor, and they just have mostly the default pistols here, so can't expect really too much.
Yeah, there isn't really too much you can hope to do here if you're OpTic. This was the risk you ran in the last round. Wow, Rush. Come on, Config caught asleep there? No, nade in hand, okay. No real chance for him to apply in that case, but Cajun will be ready to get revenge for his fallen teammate. Takes down Rush. And a two-man advantage here for North pushing onto the B site.
Yeah, there shouldn't be any issue cleaning it up, and they will do just that, only losing Config. As you said, a bit unfortunate on the timing there. 6-5 is the scoreline. And OpTic Gaming, wow, this is tricky. If they buy now, then it's going to be FAMASas and M4s and no grenades, in fact.
Yeah, it's got to be a half-buy call here, I think. You're CT side Cobble. You need like 6-7 rounds, right? To feel comfortable with your first half.
Yeah.
Going into the T side, this is your map as well, and things are definitely going pretty well for you here in the first half. North are under pressure. And so, yeah, I love this call from OpTic. Right, we'll take another round. We're on pistols. We invest a little bit. We can probably do some damage economically to North. But we're focusing our attentions on the 13th round that's coming up next. Nice headshot there. Again, Config, just opening it up here on the B site.
Yeah, doing such a good job right now. Nafly will go down in return, but I think Config has to play this well on the T side because I've seen many games already where he goes completely absent on the TT side. So it's almost like he sort of has to make up for that on the T side. I hope that's not going to be the case this time, but it's been a pattern that's been playing itself out for a while, just for him personally. 3-on-3, but with the bomb already down and just the lack of equipment here on the CT side, I wouldn't expect too much out of them. Cajun and Magus closing out the round. 7-5 is the scoreline, and now OpTic. How did they make this round work? This is where I think this is why it's frustrating playing on the CT side. If it was any other map, I wish that this was where OpTic sort of almost took a tactical timeout, came up with like one big play that could sort of get them right back in the half here. But what is the big play on CT side Cobblestone? Taking the risks is just very hard.
You kind of have to just trust in, and this read right now coming in from OpTic, putting the 4 on B. It's been successful so far for North on B site. They've definitely struggled on A. Sure enough, MSL, early presence over here from B, but that bomb is towards A. What I was wondering is if OpTic were going to go back to what worked at the beginning of the half and try and set up some kind of long play where Mixwell can work with the AWP with Hiko to support him. But instead, it's the focus on Plateau. They want to just slap North down over here on this side of the map.
Oh, flashbang in. Are they going to get the kill on him? Actually looked like he could have gone down then. Took a tiny bit of damage, though. The battle is still going on. Every time Mixwell takes this peek in long and sees that there's no one pushed up right at the edge of him, it's so good. Like, his teammates can work well off that information. But as soon as he gets forced back with a grenade or anything, and ooh, what was that for Magus?
Inspired play.
Inspired by who, though? Someone who doesn't play Counter-Strike?
I mean, you can't even say Young Stu, because when Young Stu pushes through smokes, he gets kills.
Yeah,
so.
And he runs with the flashbangs and everything. It's like a whole fireworks show when Stu comes through.
You only did half the job there, Magus. You did the easy part.
Bit sneaky, didn't work out. Naf, that's a great flashbang on him. Forces him back around the corner, and AC picks up both the kills. Unbelievable. Now finally Rush coming in. He's been absent for a while, but those 2 kills might just win them the round. 20 seconds left. It's going to be Config. He's still alive. And now Tarek and Hiko, this retake, they need it. They got to have it. They lost the first map. This is their chance to really cement the first map. They can win this first half here. They're going to be in a great position on Cobblestone. Tarek tapping away and taking down Config. Cajun, can he upset them and steal this round away?
Cajun is raging right now. He really wishes his teammate hadn't been so aggressive. 1v2. They are both coming from the same angle. He misses the shot. There's the big spray, and he needs to stay alive, but it's not going to happen. Tarek, though, no kit. And he's just going to have the time. But, like, oh, when Config continues to take the duel like that, when you're cutting it this close, all Cajun is thinking is, like, please don't peek. Just stay alive on the site. That's all you need to do, is stay alive on the site and buy time.
Man, that was cutting it close. Even if Cajun makes it back around that box and stays alive for 2 seconds longer, that's it. The round is in their favor. Magus, I mean, I guess if you can sneak through and there's no one waiting, that's good news, but a bit of a risk. 14th round. That is really great for OpTic. A good retake, and they needed that.
Yeah, that'll build some confidence, and that might dampen config just a bit. Because if you know that you made the mistake that might have cost your team the round, you might kind of slow down your game a little bit. Magus trying to make as much noise over here as possible, committing the nades as well to try and draw attention. But OpTic aren't buying it. They're already rotating 2 players towards connector, soon to be 3. And this is going to be a very quick A play. Hiko, is he going to be able to survive for long? They line it up, and AZ decides to give him a helping hand. Config is already out, but AZ and MSL doing work in the meantime.
Oh no, OpTic. They win that one round, but now things are looking very glib indeed. Nafly has gone down 2 versus 4. They just have to save these rifles into the 15th round. They've got almost no choice anymore. They don't have the money. Remember, that last one was in a 1v1, so their economy is completely broken on the OpTic side, and Rush can't even escape. He's boxed into the middle here, and they should absolutely hunt him.
Yeah, they have the money for it. You can sacrifice a couple more AKs. I mean, all I can think is just like, what, MSL hasn't flash? Why are you not flashing before you go around the corner? But it works in the end. Cajun gets the kill.
6 rounds I still think is very acceptable for OpTic Gaming. I think they can make this work off of the 6 rounds. It's just that they could have obviously had more, and it's always frustrating to play the 15th round with just pistols and armor. It's just not how you want to go out. Oh, Mixwell and Hiko though, are they going to try and be aggressive? Rush as well and Taric? They could actually try and fight them out here. They got the grenades for the flashbangs. They're rushing through the smoke. Hiko going for the early fight. He does a bit of damage to AZ, but where's the rest of the backup? I thought they were going to push long and mid at the same time.
Yeah, it's just... Actually, Hiko, you're the stand-in, so you know what? Just go ahead and... it's almost like Office Space at this point. Yeah, could you just go ahead and push mid for me there?
Yeah, your desk is in the janitor's closet.
That's, yeah, that's unfortunate for Hiko. But North do have the superior firepower, and they're already out onto the B site.
Conflict going down is a good shot from Taric. Throwing up the AK to a teammate. It's not a bad idea, though he came down as well, so just looks interesting. 3-on-3. No defuse kit right now. Picked up. Magus gets the 1 kill. Somehow doesn't get that kill on Taric. Still leaves it in a 2-on-2. That bomb is very far ticked already. They need to get the kill on AZ quick, but he's going to instead return it on to Taric and Mixwell. No time. It's no chance at all here. He's going to walk right into Cajun. That will make it 9-6 as the end of the first half comes through. Second map, if you are just joining us. The first one went in favor of North. This one, I think, is pretty much anybody's game. I don't think 9-6 is too bad. I just think it's frustrating that OpTic obviously could have had 9-6 almost there in their favor if just a couple of more things had worked out for them.
This is just a gritty fight that we're getting on Cobble. Nuke was 16-2, complete and utterly one-sided in North's favor. They just demolished OpTic. And here we're going to see exactly what OpTic have in store for us here on the T side. They started very strong on the CT side. Despite the fact that they lost the pistol, it was close at the very beginning, through and through. But now, I mean, Config had a very strong CT side on Nuke, Cajun as well. I mean, I'm trying to think if they're going to be able to kind of reproduce that performance here, because if Config just starts laying waste again, that's where OpTic, it starts to look a little grim. And where does Hiko fit into the picture here for OpTic? They certainly haven't had the time to really iron out all the T-side aspects with him in the fight, and so are they just going to leave him lurk? You know what? You go over on that side of the map, you just kind of come back some information to us and hope that you catch somebody making a mistake.
In some ways, I think that would be easier, because then the rest of OpTic still play as the same unit that they always have been. I mean, we've seen that in the past where you pick up someone who is sort of a stand-in or someone as a temporary player. You just have them play alone, and then everyone else plays the way that they're used to playing. But we'll see if it's going to work out or not. OpTic... Oh my god, flashed as well. Taric just walks right into that shot from MSL. A brutal way to get started, but the refrag is in for Nafly, taking down AZ. And now, back on an even keel here. North just holding all over the map.
That is such an incredibly important kill, actually. The fact that AZ is out, just complete out, wide open like that, it's forced a rotation to come back for North. Now they have to cheat and have 2 players on B, 1 in connector. A single player is alive here, still on the A site, and that's MSL, and they're walking by him. So he has no audio cues to try and get Magus back. Magus gets rotated all the way over to B.
Yeah, but is Nafly really going to expect for someone to be here? His teammate's already far in behind. If Nafly goes down, then there's going to be the time for it. And MSL winning the battle, that's so huge. Now, the time is ticking for OpTic. They need to rush and just run up here and get the bomb down before the whole full rotation is coming in from north. They know that it's going to be happening. So even with the bomb down here, OpTic are in a pretty tough position. MSL looking for more. That's the third headshot of the round here. The captain taking control of the ship right now and just leading them to a victory in this pistol round. Mixwell, he will get the refrag, and now he's stolen the USP. Can they get this defuse north?
It's time to go. North, they don't have a kit, and so they have to get in here and start landing some headshots. Rush and Mixwell alive, but getting flanked. He has no idea where he was getting shot from. Config gets the drop on Mixwell, and now it's Rush alive on the site. Last time we had an M4, he did work, but not this time. Magus will find the headshot on him midair, and they're going to get this diffused north. They will have the time for it, and so that is just an incredible performance from MSL, the man right there on your screen. Definitely not expecting him to step up and hit headshots like that, but that was excellent work. He just made the difference for his team. It's all on MSL because all three players, apart from MSL, were way over on B. If MSL dies instantly here to this, to Nafly's push, that's it. The round is pretty much over. OpTic will have control of everything.
Just very, very impressed by MSL. That's a huge impact round for him, very clearly. And he played so well on Nuke. I wonder what's making the difference here in Vegas for him. Is it the oxygen-filled rooms? Should they start having an oxygen tank when he plays at home, you know?
Iron lung?
Yeah, something like that. Just maybe the extra clarity gonna help him out, staying awake.
I mean, the man has a laser beam right now. This is remarkable, and this is, I mean, that really gives North all the tools necessary. That's the second, I mean, they've won all of the pistol rounds here versus OpTic so far in this best of 3.
OpTic gonna go for the quick rush in. They do not have armor, so this is just for the bomb plant. Try and see if they can get it down quick. Config, someone not realizing he's getting shot in the feet. And Rush taking down AC, and now it's interesting. They don't have a lot of health, so they still need to stay out of sight to not get shot down by the FAMAS here. Magisk taking the kill, and now that leaves Hiko, and you see the aim punch just not working in his favor at all. It will be 11-6 in favor of North. But with the bomb plant and the bomb plant and the pistol, that's just a lot of money that they're going to have, OpTic, for the third round that's coming up.
Yeah, this should set Mixwell up nicely, actually. He was already managing his economy to be able to pick up that AWP. Now he can get the AWP no problem at all. And this is going to be a great buy across the board here for the rest of OpTic. They'll have all the nades necessary. So this is where it gets fun, Anders. Wow, no AWP for Mixwell. Interesting. So it's going to be the run and gun. They don't want to give him time to work with that op looking for picks. Instead, it's probably just going to be some kind of explosive strat coming in from OpTic. Straight B rush. I mean, everybody heading towards B halls right now to start.
Yeah, what I love about this is how many Molotovs they have, because they don't have the AWP, so any corner that they would potentially worry about or fear that someone might be in, they can just check all of them hard with the Molotov. So I hope they do that. They've already used 2 of them, and a bit of damage being taken. Rush, in fact, almost going down. Everyone needs to calm down. Config can see under that smoke, so he's got a very good chance here. But now the counter flashes are coming out, and they're rushing right down there. Everyone is flashed right now, and then finally a kill happens. It's Cajun gonna get returned right away. 4-on-4 here. Plenty of time for OpTic to just slow it down, wait for North to make the mistake, and then go and get the bomb plant.
That was their last flash, though. And so now they're limited on the utility. Still, Tarek takes great advantage of that. He gets boosted up on the big box and finds the headshot on MSL. But it's still possible here for North. They have that HE. Magus looking for the Kobe. Not going to connect.
Good shot for Config. Taking down Rush. 3-on-2 now. A 1-on-3 instead. AC going to pick up the 1 kill. He only has the UMP. 14 bullets, and he's way out in the open. Goes for the long spray, and somehow he's still alive. Gets a headshot. Goes for more. But Hiko going to save the round. A double kill here for the stand-in player. And that will be a round for OpTic, and a much-needed one. I was panicking slightly because when Rush was that low in the beginning, that could have been the shutdown moment, but they actually fought their way back.
Yeah, I'm very impressed with Rush, in fact. And Rush was the one to get the kill that actually opened up the site. With Config falling back so rapidly, he gets caught behind big box, basically behind the smoke, and he's out of the fight. And so it becomes the key focus to remove the man who's holding on the site itself. And it was Rush to get the kill with like 12 HP. So great work from Rush. And well, North, this is the force buy actually coming in from North. It's only Cajun who's saving money. Cajun trying to manage it so that he can pick up that op when they will go for the buy. But North in this time around, I mean, everybody else has spent their money, so not willing to give up here. Looking to bop OpTic on the nose.
Magisk pushing through just as he hears the grenade, trying to get the timing down perfect. I'm not really a big fan of this buy for North. I think the gap between the two teams right now is big enough that North can just go for a full save and then you'll really make it work later on.
Oh, easy now with the kill on Mixwell. Man advantage. They have the nades. Are they going to use them? Don't just walk in. That's That's scary. If MSL's holding that corner with the dig, of course he can get the shot. And there we go. They push right into him. MSL, 2 body shots does the work and even gets the tag. Rush and Tarek, they're both down to 50 HP.
Oh, it's a very good job. MSL continuing across 2 maps right now, doing the best that he can to make this work. And now 40 seconds. AZ getting in position with the scout up on the balcony. And Config is also there with a 5-7. Can they do this? Is Config taken down? Sorry, the Deagle instead. He goes down right afterwards. I have no idea why he rose for that fight. They've only got 30 seconds. They could have just held on, and it would have been very hard for Rush to get in. But now, it's winnable.
But have they been able to communicate the fact that Rush is so low? He's only got 8 HP. AZ, if he uses the scout and misses the shot, that could be it. But he'll catch Rush looking the wrong way, and this time it's Lady Luck giving AZ a bit of a wink there.
Do you really feel like Config... we pointed this out for maybe 6 months or more now. That is like his weakness, is that he's so crazy that once the adrenaline kicks in, he just can't even stop himself. He just keeps going, even if it... I bet everyone on North at that point in time must have been wondering, why are you doing this, you know?
Well, twice on the same map,
yeah,
in key rounds that make the difference for your team. That's where you really start to get frustrated. And so...
But it's obviously impossible to criticize him as well because he's playing such an incredible game. He's got 18 kills. He was top fragging on Nuke. So, you know, how are you going to bring that feedback to him as a team and say, look, can you just play differently? Yeah, but I'm just wrecking everybody.
Oh, basically, like, do everything that you're doing before the bomb gets planted. That's all cool. When the bomb gets planted, though, please stop peeking. just chill.
Should give him like a little electric bracelet that the coach can sort of click and then it just buzzes him and he's like, I need to slow down right now. That's it. Got armor, they got the pistols and 1 AK there, and already Hiko's gone down and trying to make their way through the window, but Cajun was there to follow it up. 2 men holding that window, going to make it very difficult to make their way through. Now Mixwell going for the fight with a pistol, a run and gun headshot on AZ brings him down. 2 on 3, a round that does not look even remotely winnable here. Mixwell doing the very best that he can, but it is not enough. 13-7, and we're moving into the 21st round.
And that was the force from OpTic as well. And so now... They made it expensive for North, sure, but they really needed to get that win because North now, if it's a hard eco coming in from OpTic, which looks likely, they're going to be up on 14 rounds and with a huge margin for error. And so that pressure is just going to start mounting on OpTic. They're going to have so little room to make mistakes with. And yeah, it is just flash and run and hope that you get that bomb plant. You did it last time. You're hoping to do it again here. MP9 for Config, though. He's just looking to make that money.
Oh. He's right on the other side of the smoke. Is the flash going to come through? They don't see him, and there's the spray. Config lining them up, and he's going to get the quick triple. Cajun taking 2 of them. That's good money being made, and North also making their way towards the end of this map and the end of the series. It seems 14-7. They just need 2 more rounds, and finally, OpTic take a tactical timeout. So that's the first timeout we've had, isn't it, in this best of 3?
They're only allowed 1 2-minute timeout per map. And they didn't actually use it on Nuke, which was surprising to me considering Peacemaker, the fact that there can be a discussion with an actual coach to discuss tactics to slow the team down, etc. They didn't use it when they were getting beat up, OpTic on Nuke. So for them to use it here, I mean, it makes sense. You're going into a buy round. So take the time. You had that hard into eco. You just got slapped by Config. Take the time to discuss what you want to actually make happen here. Where on the map is Config not playing? Okay, let's go to the other part.
So rough right now. I think it's especially rough because MSL is obviously having a very good day.
Fantastic work.
It's an uphill struggle. And everything is on the line for this game, just in case you're wondering.
It's fun because this is almost the exact same order that we had on Nuke as far as the kills are concerned for North. Config leading the way, MSL right behind him, Cajun, Megaskin, AZ though, all within 3 frags of each other, right? So I mean, it's so solid across the board right now for North. And this is OpTic's map.
And this is the decider match, as you can tell. So this is it.
Yeah, there's no backing up here. We're seeing Naf take a bit of a hit on his... I mean, just looking at kills, right? But Naf, having taken over the in-game leader role, it seems like it might be impacting him a little bit here because he is sitting still single digits. We're in the 22nd round. He's only got 9 kills. So it is a bit of a tough scenario here for OpTic. And I'm really curious. This is like one of those times where it's like you kind of wish you could get the comms back in. Because in a timeout like this, what is Peacemaker actually trying to communicate? What's written on that piece of paper?
Yeah, we don't know. You're right. It is either those in-game comms roasty worth their weight in gold, unfortunately. Players tend to be a bit loose in their language when they talk to each other. Sometimes things that we cannot broadcast. most of the time, things that we cannot broadcast. I can tell you for sure when the Danes are playing, things tend to get completely out of control. So there wouldn't even be possible to translate it because it's just obnoxious.
It is. Sounds like one long word, like just sounds, rumblings. All right, 14-7.
Also, all of the Danish call-out spots on all the maps are all things that we cannot broadcast for some reason. I don't know what's wrong with them.
Obscene.
Yeah, pretty much.
How many dildos are on Inferno again?
Quite a few. Dust 2, I think, is the worst one. We'll move past that topic real quick. Maybe one day we'll do a feature on it. Just the obnoxious call-out names.
I mean, we did actually stop calling Ladder Room Whorehouse, and that was a Danish thing, right?
That was. Oh, Magus with a double spray down. They did go for the grenade. They didn't obviously have the Molotov, but they tried to flash in to make sure that they could get that frag on him. But now, I don't even know. OpTic, whatever timeout plan they had, it obviously completely evaporates as soon as Magus gets those 2 kills. Now, AZ turning around for the flashbang, gonna get the shot on Mixwell, and Rush and Nafly. What is left?
Not a whole lot to work with, Anders. Really, they need... Nope. I was about to say, maybe Naf can be the hero here that his team needs to step up and get the headshot, but it's not going to happen. Rush doing some work, but he's going to get caught. Cage and not missing a beat, jumps right in behind him, hamstrings him, ends him, and we're at 15-7, match point for North.
Wow.
And a spot in the quarterfinals, and more importantly, a spot playing in the MGM Grand Arena, where the likes of Tyson, McGregor, all sorts of greats have fought in this arena. It would be incredible to play there for all of these players.
For just a second, I thought you were sort of implying that Tyson would come and play.
How sick would that be? Except he'd probably just like punch you in the... I don't know, man. Instead of shaking your hand, it's just...
It'd be an interesting mix. Definitely would be.
No, I play video games.
Config. Just waiting, fairly patient for him, going for another flick but not connecting. This is the last chance for OpTic, or they're going to be out of the tournament. Config taking a kill, finally goes down, but it's still a 2-on-3. Rush and Hiko. Okay then, calm down.
Pace yourselves. Deep breath now, North. You've got the man advantage, you got the nade advantage. Russia's got an AK, sure, and Hiko wins the duel versus Magus. Magus trying to get in there, trying to catch him looking the wrong way, and it doesn't work. But they haven't planted the bomb yet. This is key.
Hiko trying to sneak out, but MSL catches him just in time, and there's the headshot. AZ, and it will be 16-7 as North make their way to the quarterfinals, taking out OpTic Gaming. Powerful performance. Obviously, 16-2 on the first map, 16-7 on the second map. That definitely shows that you've earned your way there and that you've really sort of proven to be the best team here. That's just incredibly, incredibly one-sided, in fact.
Just dominant. You get 9 rounds across 2 maps.
Yeah.
Ouch. If you're OpTic, that's not how things were supposed to go. I mean, obviously, you probably came in with, like, you hedging your bets a little bit, you know. Just brought in Peacemaker. He's obviously going to bring changes. You don't have your full roster. You have Hiko standing in after having lost your in-game leader, right? So Naf has to take the in-game leader role. I mean, there are a lot of things working against OpTic, and they really just needed their players to step up and land shots. And when that didn't happen, you can see what, you know, it's just they're left dead in the water.
And it's so difficult because there were a lot of discussions about this. How would it impact them? Rubino being gone, you bring in Operation AZPZ, and then it actually works out really well. Not because AZ is suddenly the star player, he's getting all the frags, but the whole team seems to be functioning. There's almost no bump in the road, right? There's no break in their stride. They're just like, oh, yep, you play it. Let's keep going.
AZ's over the moon right now, though. Having got to chat with him real quick, and it's just like, he's like, I can communicate in Danish again. You know, it's like, it's just, everything just feels smoother, feels more snappy. He feels like he fits into the system well, that MSL's taking good care of him, so I mean...
Well, I hope they're not going to communicate in Danish. That'd be really weird. It mixes many talents, but Danish, I don't think, is one of them. We'll get a chance to hear from her. Smix, please, take it away.
Congratulations, MSL, you're advancing to the playoffs, getting revenge on OpTic, and only dropping 9 rounds on both maps. You know, the team just looks so good. Config went absolutely out of his mind, but you yourself also had some really great rounds, and I heard a little rumor on Twitter that it's actually because you changed your sensitivity recently. Is that actually the case?
I actually think it is. I changed it to a low sensitivity as I used in the old days, but honestly I also think that it's because we got Philip in, which I think make me like have more room, and just like I feel I don't have to worry so much about the other games, the other players, so I can play my own game as well.
Well, after a really dominant first map on Nuke where you only lost 2 rounds, headed into Cobblestone, I know that was a map that was really strong for you guys back in 2016, but at the Major, it was also the map that you lost 3 times on. So I'm wondering, going into Cobblestone, did that affect your confidence at all?
I don't think it affected our confidence. We know we are good on Cobble, but it has been some tough games on Cobble, so it's really good that we got the confidence back here. It felt like we had control all the game, both on Nuke and Cobble. We never felt that there was anything to worry about.
Well, in the quarterfinals, there's 3 potential opponents that you have, very strong opponents. We have SK, that the last time you played them was, I believe, E-League Season 2 quarterfinals, where you lost 2-1, and then Gambit, which you lost to at the Major, and then Mouse Sports, where Nico and Oscar are just going off. So what are your thoughts?
I'm looking forward to the playoffs. I think the only map we have played bad on is Inferno, and it was a joker from the beginning. We are really strong on 5 maps, and I think we're going confident into the playoffs, and I really think we can win this event.
So there's no preference on teams, any team that stands out to you?
No.
I like that confidence. Well, best of luck. Always a pleasure speaking with you. Back to you guys at the desk.
Awesome stuff from Sue, digging deeper about this sensitivity issue. I think that's kind of cool. I had no idea. Chad, you were the one that raised our raised our awareness of that.
I wasn't sure if it was a joke or not. It's good to see, but it's obviously not a joke. The guy had a plus 23 KD ratio, 42 frags, 19 deaths. He played like a beast.
It's not bad.
It's not bad, and it is breaking character for MSL. There is a reason why when we talk about in-game leaders who pay the price in frags, MSL is like top of the list, right, Duncan? Doing all right this time.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, obviously we've really got to see a lot more maps before we can put this story out that he's legitimately going to be a lot better. But I think what he actually alluded to in his answer there is that perhaps he's changed his role within the team, therefore he felt he could go back to a lower sensitivity, because actually the role he used before and for a long time in Dignitas was he was basically the bait for whoever his star player was. So actually I can see why, if you're running in first to like a tight choke, you probably want a higher sensitivity, just check everything out, scout it out, see where the enemy is. There's a logic to that. So if they really have taken it back now, they've got AZ obviously in the team, maybe they've shuffled it up a little bit like that, because actually that was the question, right? Can AZ and Config coexist? I mean, they looked great in this series.
I mean, look at the score as well. Config just raining down terror alongside MSL. 44 frags for him. We've even got some highlights of some of the stuff Config got up to over those 2 maps, and quick 2 maps they were. Nuke 16-2, Jason. I mean, OpTic, we were kind of praising them. I remember there were a couple of words out of your mouth yesterday regarding the way Nuke looked.
Against Astralis, T-side against Astralis looked pretty decent, and whether that's the research that came in, I mean, North just shut it down. Obviously, the
Config shut it down.
Yeah, Config and MSL having big efforts, but I mean, even still in this match, you could see they shut down a lot of what OpTic wanted to do, the same way that Astralis did it yesterday. That the play outside from Cajun. Config even had a round or 2 out there, where it's just like, if you're going to shut down outside, I know Yanko's done enough Weatherman segments about how important outside control is. If you can't get that on Nuke, there's just not really a whole lot of other places you can go. But even throughout this series, even on Cobble, I mean, one of the things that OpTic was so good at the end of last year, when they were one of the better teams, their T-sides were impactful. They were getting rounds on them on all their different maps. And this, I think this is where this series really showed some of the new feelings for NAF becoming an in-game leader, where their hits, their takes weren't nearly as aggressive. I don't think they traded particularly well in the initial contact of some of these kills. I don't think they used utility very well to get some of their entries. So they just seemed a little bit disjointed on their attacks, and North obviously ate it up.
And this is something going forward so that I want to pinpoint, because obviously North, OpTic rather, out of the tournament now. Right, so they had all this hype before that, okay, so Peacemaker can talk in this tournament, don't worry, like NAF's still the in-game leader, he did all the calls. Every time they ever had a player shot before the round or during a timeout, I never saw NAF talking. He was just sat there in silence. Now maybe during the round when we don't see him, he makes some sort of calls, but I actually get the sense that they might have been using Peacemaker as a bit of a crutch at this tournament. So when you go forwards, we know that's not going to be the case at other tournaments. You just cannot use them, you can only have the timeout. So that's something where in the future, if they keep Eco, I really want to see what happens with NAF and the in-game leadership there.
They're usually a lot more free-flowing, right? Here they were very structured in the way they were approaching the game. They were doing a lot of set executes, which OpTic, they had them before, but not as many as what we were seeing getting thrown in here. It almost seemed like every second round was a set execute. Right. And that probably is Peacemaker's influence, not in a negative way. Just when you're standing behind as a coach and you're doing the in-game leading role or you're assisting, it's easier to call a set strat, right? Because you call the start of the round. You don't have the same instincts as the in-game leader or the leader that the players have. You hear something in game and you make an instinct call as an in-game leader because you actually can hear what's going on and see every little intricacy. As a coach, you're trying to watch 5 different monitors and you actually can't, you don't have the little sound cues and stuff. So there's a big difference between the coach standing behind without the PC and the in-game leader. You still need someone to take the reins as a mid-round caller, and at the moment, OpTic probably don't have that. Everybody should contribute in that role, but you want an overbearing voice that will say, this is what we're doing, do it now.
Absolutely. There was, I mean, just kind of to look for those silver linings just a little bit, there was instances from both the casters and us in the green room where we were like, I like what OpTic did there, and then they ended up losing the round. Like, it felt like there was some structure there that was admirable.
Yeah, well, they weren't winning rounds that they put themselves in the best position to, like just like the pistol round on Cobble where Config won that situation. Yeah, he forced the doors and found a one-on-one duel as the other CT made his way into the bomb site. That was just bad play by OpTic, right? They're not taking that fight together, they're letting themselves get isolated, and a lot of those situations went against them, which once you get in that hole, it's hard to get out of.
You know all about that. We should go ahead and start talking about Group A. Let's bring that bad boy up and we can show you exactly how things have shaped up for that. Yes, indeed. We've got two teams locked in for the playoffs from Group A. It is Astralis and North. Complexity and OpTic, two North American representatives, are added to the pile of teams grouped. Now into Group B as well. You can see that next match in the top right corner. We get to see Virtus.pro versus Fnatic now. And that will be a battle for survival between two infamous names from Counter-Strike Global Offensive. That should be a good one, Duncan. You can set the scene for everyone at home. I mean, VP Fnatic, one of them's going home. It's a turn of events for sure. Yeah, absolutely. And obviously these are teams where, particularly the old Fnatic lineup, they always made out of groups at every single tournament. You know, like their idea of failure was, oh, we only made it to the semi-finals. Like that's what the expectation was. And obviously Virtus.pro, they could have won the major. They were very, very close. They were fantastic there. So I think whoever goes home has to be really disappointed. And so I expect, despite this just being a group decider, it's going to be an absolute war. It's going to be a battle for pride, is a good way to summarize it indeed. Virtus.pro, Fnatic, two teams infamous within the game that we love, and now they're going to do battle to survive and battle on in the playoffs for DreamHack Masters Vegas. It is the City of Lights, and we'll be right back with more hair-raising action. And battles. And battles.
Coming up on DreamHack Masters, Fnatic versus Virtus.pro.